Hey, before we get into today's video, the audio got a bit corrupted in YouTube. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to edit it, but every time I put it in there, it's just having little weird skips. It still sounds good. You can still understand the entire video. Just wanted to let you know that when you hear my voice go bleh, occasionally, like a couple times, it's not my fault, alright? Forgive me. Anyways, enjoy the video. In Revenge of the Sith, I definitely think we should have gotten a lot more scenes with Padme Amidala. There are deleted scenes, deleted dialogue, that just really push her character forward. And some of it is included in the Revenge of the Sith novelization, which I want to go over a bit of today. My favorite thing from Padme that we just don't get in the movie is her and Obi-Wan talking, when Obi-Wan reveals he has always known about her and Anakin. It's such an interesting conversation that just adds new depth to Attack of the Clones, the entire Clone Wars series, and Anakin's fall to the dark side, so let's get into it. I love covering book. I think it's just amazing. I would highly recommend just reading the entire Dark Lord trilogy, Labyrinth of Evil, Revenge of the Sith, and Dark Lord, Rise of Darth Vader. I've covered all three books on here. Gonna continue to do it. There's just so much. Anyways, let's get into it. The conversation takes place just after Anakin is asked to spy on Palpatine, and just before Obi-Wan is called into a meeting to discuss finding Grievous. So, let's get right into it. C-3PO had announced to Padme that a Jedi was waiting to see her, and Padme flew out of bed, threw on a robe, and hurried out to the living room, a smile breaking through her sleepiness, like a dawn outside, going to see Anakin. But it was Obi-Wan. The Jedi Master had his back to her, hands clasped behind him as he drifted restlessly about the room, gazing with abstracted lack of interest at her collection of rare sculpture. "Obi-Wan," she said breathlessly. She bit off the following, "something happened to Anakin?" How would she explain why this was the first thing out of her mouth? "Has C-3PO offered you anything to drink?" He turned to her, a frown clearing from his brow. "Senator," he said warmly, "so good to see you again. I apologize for the early hour, and yes, your protocol droid has been quite insistent on offering me refreshment." His frown began to regather, "But as you may guess, this is not a social call. I've come to speak with you about Anakin." Her years in politics had trained her well, even as her heart lurched and a shrill, "How much does he know?" echoed inside her head. Her face remained only a tentatively blank. A primary rule of Republic politics: tell as much truth as you can, especially to a Jedi. "I was very happy to learn of his appointment to the Council," she said. "Yes, it is perhaps less than he deserves, though I'm not afraid it may be more than he can handle." "Has he been to see you?" Obi-Wan asked. "Several times," she said evenly. "Something is wrong, isn't it?" she asked. Obi-Wan tilted his head, and a hint of a rueful smile showed through his beard. "You should have been a Jedi." She managed a light laugh. "And you should never go into politics. You're not very good at hiding your feelings." "What is it?" "It's Anakin." With his pretense of cheer fading away, he seemed to age before her eyes. He looked very tired, profoundly troubled. "May I sit?" he asked. "Please," and she waved him to the couch, lowering herself onto its edge beside him. "Is he in trouble again?" Padme asked. "I certainly hope not. This is more a personal matter," Obi-Wan said. He shifted his weight uncomfortably. "He's been put in difficult position as the Chancellor's representative, but I think there's more to it than that. We had words yesterday, and we parted badly." Her heart sank. He must know, and he'd come to confront her, to bring their whole lives crashing down around them. She ached for Anakin, but her face showed only polite curiosity. "What were these words about?" she asked delicately. "I'm afraid I cannot tell you," Obi-Wan said with a vague, apologetic frown. "Jedi business. You understand." She inclined her head. "Of course. It's only that, well, I've been a bit worried about him. I was hoping he may have talked to you." "Why, what would he talk to me about?" She frowned at him with her best friendly but skeptical smile. "Jedi business?" "Senator." "Padme, please." He gazed into her eyes with nothing on his face but compassion and fatigued anxiety. "I am not blind, Padme, though I have tried to be, for Anakin's sake, and for yours." "What do you mean?" she asked. "Neither of you is very good at hiding your feelings, either." "Obi-Wan," she said, "Anakin has loved you since the day you met in that horrible junk shop on Tatooine. He's never even tried to hide it, though we do not speak of it. We pretend that I do not know. And I was happy to, because it made him happy. You made him happy, when nothing else ever truly could. He sighed, his brows drawing together. And you, Padme, skilled as you are on the Senate floor, cannot hide the light that comes to your eyes when anyone so much as mentions his name. I... She lurched to her feet. I can't. Obi-Wan, don't make me talk about this. I don't mean to hurt you, Padme, nor even to make you uncomfortable. I'm not here to interrogate you. I have no interest in the details of your relationship. She turned away, walking just to be moving, barely conscious of passing through the door on the way to the dawn-painted veranda. Then why are you here? She asked. He followed her respectfully. Anakin is under a great deal of pressure. He carries tremendous responsibilities for a man so young. When I was his age, I still had some years to go as a Padawan. He is changing quickly, and I have some anxiety about what he is changing into. It would be a very great mistake were he to leave the Jedi Order. She blinked as though he'd slapped her. Why, that seems unlikely, doesn't it? What about this prophecy the Jedi put so much faith in? Isn't he the chosen one? She asked. Very probably, Obi-Wan said, but I have scanned this prophecy. It says only that the chosen one will be born and bring balance to the Force. Nowhere does it say that he has to be a Jedi. She blinked harder, fighting down a surge of desperate hope that left her breathless. He doesn't have to? My master, Qui-Gon Jinn, believed that it was the will of the Force that Anakin should be trained as a Jedi, and we all have a certain, I suppose you could call it Jedi-centric bias. It is a Jedi prophecy, after all. And Padme replied, but the will of the Force, isn't that what the Jedi follow? And Obi-Wan said, well, yes, but you must understand that not even the Jedi know all there is to know about the Force. No mortal mind can. We speak of the will of the Force as someone ignorant of gravity might say it is the will of a river to flow to the ocean. It is a metaphor that describes our ignorance. The simple truth, if any truth is ever simple, is that we do not truly know what the will of the Force may be. We can never know. It is so far beyond our limited understanding that we can only surrender to his mystery. What does this have to do with Anakin? She swallowed, but her voice stayed tight and thin. And with me. I fear that some of his current difficulty has to do with your relationship, Obi-Wan said. If you only knew how much, Padme thought. And what do you want me to do? She asked. He looked down. I cannot tell you what to do, Padme. I can only ask you to consider Anakin's best interests. You know the two of you can never be together while he remains in the Order. A bleak chill settled into her chest. Obi-Wan, I can't talk about this. Very well, he said. But remember that the Jedi are his family. The Order gives his life structure. It gives him a direction. You know how undisciplined he can be. And that's why he is the only Jedi I could ever love, Padme thought. And she said, yes, yes, of course. If his true path leads him away from the Jedi, so be it, Obi-Wan said. But please, for the both of your sakes, tread carefully. Be sure, some deceptions can never be reversed. Yes, she said slowly, I know that too well. He nodded as though he understood, though of course he did not understand at all. We all do these days, Obi-Wan said, and a soft chiming came from within his robe. Excuse me, he said, turning aside, producing a comlink from an inner pocket. Yes? And a man's voice came thinly through the comlink, deep inside. We are calling the council into special session. We've located General Grievous. Thank you, Master Windu, Obi-Wan said. I'm on my way. And that's the story for today, the part of the Revenge of the Sith novelization that we're going over for today. Obi-Wan knows about Padme and Anakin, though not fully. He says they can never be together, but he's also like, yeah, I know you guys love each other, but you can't be together. Obi-Wan, my friend, they are married, and he just doesn't know it. It's sad, but it's really interesting to see that he does know some stuff, just not, everything. So, cool to see, interesting to see. What do you guys think of it? Let me know in the comments. Please do leave a like. It helps a lot. And subscribe. Thank you. Thank you all very much. All right. Hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you in the next video.